Welcome to another Rockin' More production math lesson. And today's lesson is going to be on prime and composite numbers. So hopefully you heard those applause. I had it applaud a little bit. So prime and composite numbers. And our objective today is that at the end you'll be able to classify a whole number as either a prime or a composite number. And one thing I want you to make sure you remember while we go through is what a factor is. And a factor is a number or are numbers that you multiply to get another number. That was our last lesson that we talked about. So just a quick review. If we had the number, let's say 10. Oh, sorry about the messy 10. The factors of 10, we have 1 and 10. We had our rainbow that did that. And then our next one was 2 and 5. And those are factors. So we would say the factors of 10 are 1, 2, 5, and 10. We want to make sure we remember that as we go through. Very simply, a prime number is a number that has 2 and only 2 factors. Not more, not less. So there's only 2 factors. And one of those factors, one of the factors in a prime number is always going to be the number 1. So it's always going to be the number 1 and whatever the number is. Okay, so there's only 2 factors. One of them is the number 1. One of them is the actual number. And an example of that would be like, let's say the number 3. If the only numbers we could do if we were to create like a rainbow for the number 3 would be 1 and 3, because 1 times 3 is 3. No other whole numbers can be multiplied to create 3. So you see there's 2 factors. One of them is 1. One of them is the number 3. A composite number is any number with more than 2 factors. So really, if it's not a prime number, it's composite. So that means they're going to have multiple factors as we go through, more than 2 factors. The number 10, like we just did, is a composite number because it has 1, 2, 3, 4 factors. So that's more than 2, which means, of course, that it's a composite. And some of you might be saying, well, Mr. Moore, what about the number 1? It only has 1 factor. Well, the number 1 is what we call a mathematical convention, which means everyone has agreed, everybody in the world, okay, even Mr. Rockenstein has agreed that it's not a prime or a composite. Okay, so we call it a mathematical convention. So the number 1 is never going to be one of those numbers you're working with. So let's look at a couple. How about the number 6? 6. It's kind of my fancy deal for it. Let's look at what are the factors of the number 6. Well, we know the number 1 is a factor of 6, and we know we have the number 6. What comes after that? 2. We can do 2. 2 times what? Well, it would be 2 times 3. And at that point, now we're repeating. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 6. 1 times 6. And then, of course, 2 times 3. So if we go back and look at our definition, we know a prime number has only 2 factors. Composite has more than 2. Well, there's more than 2 here, which means 6 is a composite number. So we're going to get rid of this. Boom. 6 is composite. All right, how about 19? What are the factors of 19? Well, we have 1, and we have 19. And there's nothing else we can do here, which means there's only 2 factors. 2 factors makes it a prime number. Oh, I didn't have it talk. Hold on. 19. So that means 19 is a prime number. All right? 2 more. 47. It's a bigger one. 47. Well, how many factors does it have? I know it's going to be 1. And then I look and I say, okay, I know it's going to be 47. Are there any other numbers that I can do in order to multiply, any other factors that fit into the number 7? And the answer is no, there's not. So that makes it a prime number. Then we can go down and we can look at the number 102. Let's look at the factors of 102. We know we have 1 and we have 102. And then I also know, okay, I can do 2 and I can do 51. All right. Can I do 4? Yep. Can I do 3? I can do 3, and it's going to go 34, 4. I don't think I can do 4. I can't do 4, can't do 5, so I've kind of used it. But I already know as soon as I got more than 2, I knew that it was going to be composite. Okay? Quick review. Prime numbers are numbers that only have 2 factors, and one of those factors is always going to be the number 1. Composite numbers have more than 2 factors. Okay? And then the number 1 is what we call a mathematical convention. Basically, everybody agrees that it's not prime or composite. All right? So hope you remember what this is. Hope you learned something, and have a wonderful day.